Hey guys, so I know I haven't posted in a while, but that is because I am not making new content, and I'm not filming new video because I broke my collarbone. Um, had to get surgery because I broke it in a few pieces, and had to get the plate and screws and all that. So I'm sitting here recovering, and I've been sitting on this footage from my trip to Utah for a while now, and actually this trip is the entire reason why I bought my camera in the first place. So in these first clips, you're looking at scenery from a place on Slickrock. Slickrock is a famous Jeep trail in Moab, Utah, and this is where we started the trip on day one. However, unfortunately, I had some camera issues on the first day, so I didn't get to capture much of Slickrock. But on the last day, we did go to Helzer Binge, which is extremely similar to Slickrock. So I'm on my buddy's CR250 here. I'm gonna hop on his bike to take a try at this K-rail here, which is my first attempt at a K-rail ever. That's Emil setting up a kicker for me. And I was riding the WR450 all day yesterday, but I was more comfortable on the CR250 that I never rode than the WR450 for this. And as you can see, didn't go as planned. It was a couple inch deep sand and rock, and there was no traction at all. So it just wasn't happening. I wasn't gonna bother with that K-rail, but there will be another one. So I just hopped on the WR 450. This is, I think, the 2015, 2016. And we're heading out to the trail. We're looking for, I think it was Hunter's Canyon. So this is just a nice scenic road on the way to the trail. So right now I'm riding behind my buddy Emil, and you can see he's right at home on the edge of these cliffs, riding with no hands. We're with our buddy Chris, who is quite a bit back there. He got really sketched out about the cliffs, and he was just going so slow. It was his first day out, or second day out ever, on dirt bike riding. So he was a little out of his element, a little sketched out. Yeah, this is about the point where I notice how far back there he is. So we pull up here on this corner, overlook, and wait up for him. So after some running around and a little confusion, we finally get on the right track here. I think that sign was an indicator of where we're headed, and then so now we're on the trail.
You'll get better when you warm up.
Now we're really just trying to take it easy. We have 4 or 5 days of riding planned. We're just riding conservatively, trying to save our water and save our energy for the whole trip. And not to mention, we got a newbie riding at our heels too, so we can't just leave him in the dust. So we're really just taking our time and soaking in the scenery. It is bone dry out here. There are sections with deep fine loose sand and embedded rocks. It's just a good time. Emil, you can see him trying to pop off and kick off every rock he can find. So. So this is the first challenge section on this Jeep trail. It's just a little rocky downhill into an immediate rocky uphill. And then there is a cheater line, which we send Chris around the cheater line. And then take the WR450 of it just fine. I was a little bit hesitant at first, just because it took me a long time to get comfortable with the weight and response of that big heavy 4-stroke. One thing that really impressed me about the WR450 was the suspension. It was really confidence inspiring to ride in the rocks with that suspension. It was just so plush and responsive. You know, every once in a while, I might have bottomed it once or twice off of drop-offs, but that's perfectly acceptable. You know, you want to try to get your suspension to where you can bottom it every once in a while. So, was really impressed with the suspension on the bike, and it's not like it was even set up for me. You know, as far as sag and everything, I just jumped on it and rode, and it worked really well, which is a little frustrating because I can't seem to get the same results out of my new bike. So I'm actually probably sending my suspension out for a revalve to get it to where I want it. But I didn't really run into issues until I started racing hare scrambles. So trying to get it better for that kind of stuff. And right here we passed by a couple Jeeps. It looks like they were working on something. I think they broke up some kind of part or something. You really can't tell much in the video, but Alex kicked up a pretty good dust cloud through that really deep sand there, and I twisted throttle just a little bit too much when I couldn't see, and just washed it out. Here we are, stopped and waiting for everyone else to regroup. So here's where the terrain really started to change. You know, one minute we're riding in bone dry, deep sand, really loose, rocky, and then now look, water. There's shrubbery. There's as we keep going, we kind of get into this little oasis in the middle of the canyon where, you know, we're gonna run into some trees and creek beds, water. It's really cool to see the terrain change so fast. So right here we got split up for a little while. I thought that trail that Alex just drove up went parallel to the trail that I'm on, and so I figure, well, I'll take the low ground and he takes the high ground. But then I realize, well, that kind of forked off, and then as you get into the trail here, some really deep sand there, you'll see there's just forks in the trail everywhere. But figuring we're in the middle of a canyon, there's not a whole lot of places we can go, so we're not going to be split up too far. Okay, so now I'm looking around like, okay, where did everybody go? Should be seeing them any minute now, right? Okay, so here we regroup. Alex just takes his bike for a little mud bath. Did you notice something different about the trail now? Look, there's shade. Now that is a welcome sight. And here's email demonstrating how loose and deep some of this sand is. And it doesn't help that he's on a kind of a Trials hybrid tire, so. And there goes Alex. He just dunks his bike and floods it, drowns it. Alex says, "I got it, man, don't worry about it, but let me tell you something. This is one of those times where I was looking forward to get my feet wet. It was so hot sitting there, no moving air, and man, was that refreshing to go for a little dip."
Drowned?
So, luckily it didn't take much to get the bike going again, just a few kicks. I think he just got the spark plug wet or something. Didn't really flood it all the way out, so. Man, what a treat this was. Riding through a creek bed like this. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this right here. I was having the time of my life, and, you know, I just don't have enough of this stuff at home. Obviously, I don't have anything like this. So this is awesome. So now the chase cam is on Chris. And it looks like he found some confidence. He's picking up the pace a little bit. He's standing up, and you know, look at him. He's getting on the throttle a little bit around the sandy corners, like you should. He's running into the little water crossings and not slowing down. You know, keeping it a nice smooth throttle through the rocky bits. So he's doing really good. Until, oh, and he just dumps it. Oops. Chris is writing emails WR450, so we have 2 WR450s on the trail and 2 CR250s. He's running. He has a Recluse auto clutch, but the first day during Slickrock, it was turned off, so it was just like a regular clutch, and Chris was having a kind of a tough time. He went through all 3 liters of his water in like an hour in Slickrock, so we ended up turning the auto clutch on, and it seemed to help. I think it was just less to think about at the time, you know, not having to worry about using the clutch and installing the bike and all that. So the chase cam is back on email, and we are heading out of the trail right now. So we're on our way back to the trailhead, and that is going to wrap it up for this trail. This is day 2 of riding in the Moab, Utah area. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think about this video. I have a good bit more footage from Utah to go through, so I'm probably going to do this in probably 2 or 3 more parts. So until then, see you next time.